something that I think is, worth pondering is, why are we pressing a vinyl record? Especially in this day and age where it's a lot more work than it would be just to put it up on Spotify and call it a day.
Yeah, it's a great question because it's a real pain in the butt, if I may speak frankly.
Hey, be my guest.
But I do think it's almost just another artistic expression that we think is valuable. We went through, the process. Well, maybe I'll start even earlier. We wrote these songs inspired by old music that has a historical lineage that we want to tap into and extend, and that they made on, technology that existed in the past, and which gave it a certain sound. Mm-hmm. And so that's what motivated us to get in touch with Hunter and say, how can we take that stuff we liked, use some of that technology. I mean, we did end up using a computer eventually. It's inevitable. We're gonna, we're talking to people through the magic of the internet.
Yeah, it's definitely a hybrid process at this point for us.
But Hunter has all this cool stuff, including a tape machine that we track these songs through, that just gives it an inimitable sound, an unimitatable sound. Mm-hmm. And it would just seem like a shame to just plop it on as an MP3 on the internet with no fanfare.
Even a FLAC would not be enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's something about extending it all the way to that beautiful physical item of a vinyl record. There's just nothing like it, having that big piece of, well, could we call it wax? I guess it might be technically wax.
If you want to be informal, yeah, let's say it.
That black record with the label on it, and then you get that big paper cover with artwork on it. There's just nothing like it, especially when everything is invisible now, in a way. Mm-hmm. It's digital, it's on the internet. Physical things aren't quite as, commonplace as they used to be. You're not out there buying physical CDs and records the same way. They're more of an artistic piece, an artistic expression. And I think that's just what we're going for, to make this creative idea we have fully realized and something that'll hold up and last as long as we last, and probably beyond. It's just worthwhile to go that extra mile to make a real record.
I feel very similarly, and I also have really come to appreciate these old country records that when I actually pick up the album, when I find them, you can get anything on the internet, but I love when I go to a record store and I happen to find something I've been looking for years. Like, it's such a thrill. And looking at these LPs and seeing the back covers, you know the cover art because you look it up online, you see the cover art. You never see if it's a gatefold, you never see the inside. If there's liner notes, you never see the liner notes. You never see the backs of the records. You never see what they may have etched into the matrix of the actual record itself, or little things written. A lot of these guys had funny names for the different sides of the records.
Yeah, there's a lot of creativity.
This side
there's
and the other side,
dimensions.
all these little things that give the records so much more personality and depth. We can go on and on about, the warmth of a vinyl record. I mean, that's one thing. And I would say, if you don't even have a record player, if you just get this record and you listen to these songs digital, I would still say it's a different experience to see all the different aspects of what we're, putting together in this little package that you just wouldn't have access to, because when you put stuff online, especially through any of the mainstream platforms, like Apple Music, Spotify, everybody that, not to talk bad, if it weren't for them, I, would be about 42 cents poorer.
I know, yeah.
But there's no mechanism to see, just show me the back cover of the damn record. You can't do that online.
You really expect us to get the most out of something that's like this, you know? It's kind of crazy compared to what it used to be. So by doing something like this, you get such a personal connection, I guess. The item is unique to you. It exists. And it's almost like what we were saying a different time about the equipment we use and how there's a certain element of randomness or chaos and just uniqueness when you play a song and sing a song with this old gear on tape. it's never going to come out the same way twice. And it's kind of the same with a record. You know, each one is going to be individual. You have it, that's the record. You know, and like you're saying, you can look at it.
Yeah, and if all goes to plan, I mean, there will be things that we just won't be able to put online. It's gonna not. I'm not trying to sell it. I mean, I am trying to sell it, but I'm not trying to go, hey, you don't want to miss out. I'm not trying to create the FOMO, so to speak. No FOMO. But I'm really proud of how this is coming together and how we're creating a thing you can hold and look at that you can pull up the cover art, but that's not going to give you the full 360 experience. Or something like the songbook, you know? These physical items, it's not necessary. I love a lot of digital music. I listen to it all the time. I listen to YouTube music where I don't even see the cover art. I just, I'm listening to mixes. It's not, it's not impossible to enjoy music through modern means. I'm not someone who's stuck in the past or has any, painful nostalgia for a different time. But it's damn exciting to make a cool piece of art that you can hold in your hands. That's really all it boils down to for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to say it too. This isn't any kind of a nostalgic thing so much as it's one of the only ways that is still around that you can make a physical music thing. Whether or not you even listen to it, it's a physical form of music, and it might be the best one we have so far, and it might be the best one going forward. Sometimes I think about how, if someone just discovered this thing 200 years in the future, there would be a way to hear these songs.
Yeah.
Because they're literally punched into the material, Not to get too technical, but those vibrations we made will be just in those grooves of the record. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So someone could reverse engineer these songs long after we're gone and some other, other side of the world or even a different planet. They're on that disc, and I think that's just too cool to pass up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got records that are older than me 3 times over, and I've also got CDs that are maybe 10 years old that have already started to have disc rot. There's something to be said for it, and when you're talking about physical mediums, it's a special one.
Yeah.
It really has a certain longevity, and I can't wait to hear the songs on the damn record.
Well, me neither.